Coco Gauff stuns Iga Swiatek to keep US alive at United Cup. Coco Gauff defeated Iga Swiatek 6-4, 6-2 to level the United Cup semifinal between the US and Poland. The tie will be decided in mixed doubles, with the winners facing Switzerland, who advanced after Belinda Bencic and Jakub Paul's victory. Sydney, Coco Gauff beat world number 2 Iga Swiatek 6-4, 6-2 to force a mixed doubles decider in the United Cup semifinal between the United States and Poland on Saturday. Fourth-ranked Gauff, the French Open champion, leveled the tie at 1-1 after Hubert Hurkacz defeated Taylor Fritz 7-6, 1, 7-6, 2, in the singles opener at Ken Rosewall Arena. It was Gauff's fourth straight victory over Swiatek, the Wimbledon champion. Gauff and teammate Christian Harrison will face Swiatek and Hurkacz in mixed doubles, with the winners set to meet Switzerland in Sunday's final. Switzerland advanced when Belinda Bencic combined with Jakub Paul in the deciding mixed doubles to defeat Belgium's Elise Mertens and Zizouberg 6-3, 0-6, 10-5. Bencic has won all 4 of her singles matches and 4 in mixed doubles this week. Paul, who won just 6 tour-level doubles matches last year, struck several down-the-line winners at crucial moments to lead Switzerland into the final. Earlier, Bencic extended her unbeaten season-opening singles streak by beating Mertens 6-3, 4-6, 7-6, 0, to put Switzerland ahead 1-0. But Stan Wawrinka, who will retire at the end of this season, lost 6-3, 6-7, 4, 6-3 to Bergs, sending the tie to a mixed doubles decider. The turning point in the Wawrinka-Bergs match came in the 8th game of the 3rd set when Bergs broke serve to go up 5-3, then held to clinch the win. Tournament organizers started play 30 minutes earlier than scheduled due to searing temperatures of up to 43 Celsius in Sydney. Bencic had won all 6 sets in her first 3 matches at the United Cup. She was 2 games away from another straight sets win before Mertens pushed the contest the distance. Mertens came from 3-1 down in the 3rd set, saved 2 break points that would have given Bencic a 4-1 lead, and was 2 points away from victory with Bencic serving at 30-30, down 6-5. But Bencic won the last 9 points of the match after changing to a freshly strung racket, sealing the win in 2 hours, 37 minutes. It feels like 170 kilos fell off my shoulders. I was so stressed, I really wanted to do well, and today I felt so much pressure to not let my team down. Bencic said that on the racket change, she added, "My brain turned off and let my instincts take over. I think it was just a feeling." The stadium did not fall silent when the last ball landed. It inhaled. For a heartbeat, the air hovered between disbelief and delight, between the reputation of a reigning force and the arrival of a fearless challenger. Coco Gauff stood at the baseline, shoulders rising and falling, eyes wide with a realization that felt both sudden and long overdue. Across the net, Iga Swiatek, so often the author of inevitability, paused in stillness, her grip loosening, her certainty briefly cracked. The United Cup had offered a stage, and Gauff had turned it into a declaration. This was not merely a tennis match. It was a conversation about time. For years, Swiatek has spoken in certainties. Her forehand arrives like punctuation, her movement like grammar, her victories forming paragraphs of dominance. She is the present tense of women's tennis, precise, relentless, unafraid of repetition. Gauff, by contrast, has been learning how to conjugate belief. Since bursting onto the global stage as a teenager, she has carried both promise and pressure, a duality that can weigh heavier than expectation itself. On this night, under the banners of national pride and mixed team camaraderie, she spoke fluently at last. The United Cup is a peculiar arena. It is intimate and collective at once, a competition where individual brilliance is braided into national survival. Every point echoes beyond the player who strikes it. Every game carries the murmur of teammates leaning forward, of coaches whispering possibility, of flags stitched invisibly into the air. When Gauff walked onto the court to face Swiatek, the United States' chances flickered. When she walked off, they burned. From the first rally, the match pulsed with contrast. Swiatek's intensity was familiar, measured steps, coiled aggression, a player accustomed to shaping the narrative. Gauff answered with elasticity and courage. She chased down balls that should have been winners, turning defense into provocation. Her backhand, long admired, spoke with particular clarity, redirecting pace, refusing to retreat. It was as if she had decided that respect would no longer masquerade as restraint. There is a moment in every upset when the underdog stops asking permission. You can feel it in the crowd before you see it on the scoreboard. Gauff found that moment not in a roar, but in a refusal. She refused to rush, refused to shrink, refused to let Swiatek's aura dictate her breath. Each hold of serve was an argument, each break point saved, a rebuttal. Swiatek responded as champions do. She raised her level, pressed harder, tested the seams of Gauff's composure. The rallies lengthened, the angles sharpened. Yet something curious happened in the exchange. The script loosened. The foregone conclusion wavered. Gauff began to play not against Swiatek's resume, but against the ball in front of her. Tennis, stripped to its essence, rewards such focus. As the match tightened, the United Cup's peculiar electricity surged. Teammates became conductors, clapping rhythms into the stands. The American bench leaned in, their belief a visible force. Gauff fed on it, not as a crutch, but as a confirmation. She was not alone in the pressure, she was carrying something shared. When the decisive moments arrived, they did not come as thunderbolts but as steady rain. A serve placed just wide enough. A return taken early, daringly. A rally won by patience rather than force. Gauff's choices spoke of growth. She was not trying to out-Swiatek. She was becoming more fully herself. The final point arrived without ceremony, and then with all of it. A ball clipped the line, or cleared it cleanly, it hardly mattered. What mattered was the release. Gauff's hands flew to her face, then to the air. The crowd erupted. The United States stayed alive. And somewhere between the net cord and the noise, a young champion crossed a threshold. Upsets are often narrated as accidents, days when favorites falter, when margins betray the mighty. This one felt different. It felt authored. Gauff's victory carried the weight of intention, of lessons absorbed and applied. It was a reminder that progress in sport is rarely linear, that belief matures in stages, and that courage is a muscle strengthened by use. For Swiatek, the loss did not diminish her stature. If anything, it sharpened the rivalry that women's tennis so richly deserves. Champions are defined not by invincibility, but by the quality of resistance they inspire. On this night, Swiatek inspired excellence, and met it across the net. For Gauff, the implications stretched beyond the United Cup standings. This was a signal to herself as much as to the world, that she can stand in the brightest light and not squint, that she can absorb pressure and return it with interest, that the future so often spoken of in her name is not a distant promise, but an active negotiation.